Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are laying siege to Jirim. The siege tower is built and ready to make an assault. So we shall lead our soldiers in an assault. We have about 100 men. Alright. We have a decent number of archers, so... Archers. I want you a little closer. Move up. Infantry. I want you even closer than the archers. They have shields, they can absorb the arrows. Realistically, I'd like you guys to be actually a little closer to the archers. About here will be good, yeah. There's a group pushing the siege tower right now. Alright, well, we've got throwing weapons for a reason, I suppose. And he's stuck under the siege tower. Good for him. Oh, yes. 0. Everyone. Formation orders. Spread out. Archers are a lot less effective against spread out targets. So keep spread out. Current state on the field, we are ahead of them. They are taking a lot of casualties because we have a frig load of Nord veteran archers that are just deployed onto the field right away. If I was smart, I would have reorganized my party to have the sharpshooters deployed with them. But I'm not, so this will have to do. Either way for the moment. Although I can't throw for shit. I can try. Oh shit. Whoop. Let's not fall out of the siege tower. Well, it looks like we're falling out of the siege tower. Ow. I'm bad. I don't want people charging in yet. This is what throwing weapons are good for. We're winning the skirmish, so I'm not entirely certain if I want to say go in quite yet. Like, we are winning the skirmishing here. So, you know what? No. Infantry. Charge. The hole in the wall, they don't have enough defending it. They have a lot of archers. But they seem to lack people defending. Or it's because I put my infantry over there and that confused them for a moment. Yeah, it did. Good. They were expecting a charge. Good. Alright, so they were out of position for that. Interesting new tactic I've just discovered. If you delay the charge order that's automatically given, you can fool the enemy. Okay, can we get around back? Yeah. I don't particularly care for the melee combat. I want to try and get at these archers who are firing at my troops. Get at them. You always get them from behind. They came from behind. You know what? This is what pokey sticks are meant for. I'd be lying if I said that pokey sticks were not meant for this specific purpose. Yeah, we lost all of our infantry, didn't we? Son of a bitch. Well, under the cover of the archers, that's what pokey sticks are meant for. Alright, they've got me off the castle. Alright, what's the current battle stats here? Ow. I'd like to be able to raise my shield while I do this, thank you. Alright, fine, looks like we're gonna get cover down here. Alright, what's the current battle stats? The enemy's got 66. We're taking some casualties, but nothing too bad, I suppose. We aren't at the point where we get reinforcements yet, I'm afraid. And that's crucial. There will, in fact, be a point where additional reinforcements will arrive. I need the skirmish battle to continue until that point. We need a couple more dead on our side. Eventually it will say at the bottom left, reinforcements have arrived. It already said that once for the enemy at some point, but We need the sharpshooters. Or not sharpshooters, crossbowmen. They'll just become devastating. But we can't charge that, I'm afraid. No chance. Heteroi. Follow me. Also, cavalry. Follow me. Yeah, I figured it would be you guys. Get ready to be bombarded. They've got throwing weapons. Oh, well, they're storming. This is why I wanted my elites here. They might try and take me out here. But if my elites are here, then suddenly this becomes a fair fight. Back up, alien. We don't need... Is that really? Yeah, it is alien. Alien got knocked unconscious. Where the hell are our reinforcements? Damn it. Guess we still need to take more casualties. Alright. Archers. Movement orders. Alright, you're holding good. Form 5 rows. I want them to consolidate. I don't want them spread out so far. They still have the order to keep spread out, so it should be a pretty loose set of rows, but it'll be okay. I do not have anything left in terms of a shield. That's what falling back is for. Reinforcements have arrived. Oh, sweet. Okay. The infantry should charge. And the crossbowmen should join up. And orders, follow me. You're not to charge yet. This, we don't have any actual infantry. The point is we have all these extra archers now. All these extra archers should mean that we can win out the skirmish. At least that's what I'm hoping. Actually, assaulting the walls at this point is pretty close to suicide, so we'll have to be careful. Ooh, frame drop. Let's see. What are the battle stats currently reading? They have 38 men left. They may have... New enemies have arrived, yeah. That's the last of their soldiers. We now outnumber them. I don't know how many... We should, I think, still have more in reserve. I'm not certain, though. But, damn it, yeah, they're charging. Just in case I die. Infantry, it's your job. Retreat. Women orders. Charge. The infantry are to charge. Yeah, they're fucking storming out of here. Ugh. Alright, well, this is kind of becoming reversal, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of these guys, as you can see, are pretty low-ranked men. Whereas most of my army was pretty highly ranked up at this point. I've been, you know, a couple weeks in training. Did wonders for them. I'm surprised my shield is still intact, to be perfectly honest with you. Luckily, despite the fact that we have no infantry, we're still alive. Why? Because Nord archers have the capacity to fight regardless. Alright, what's the new battle stats? They have 5 enemies remaining. Let's do this. Everyone, you're clear to charge. Ugh. Eventually, the enemies will storm out of the battlements to fight you, which is one of the things I was kind of waiting for. Ooh. I don't have any health left, so I'm trying to... Damn. Well, damn. Oh, well. Max. Alright, I can't access that mappage. Alright, I think we just won. I think. Yeah, we won. Alright. Alright, we took 27 casualties. The wounded will heal. We killed all of them. I'm not really in a position to be picky, but I will, however, capture these guys because I might be able to recruit them. Wow, okay. Like I said, I'll take whatever the hell I can. That's it? Alright, good enough. I want to have Durim for myself. As you wish, sir, you will be the new Lord of Durim. Plunder it and keep all the spoils for yourself. I have no vassals. Is now possess lands in your own name without being tied to any kingdom. This makes you a monarch in your own right, with your court temporarily located at Durim. However, there are other kings in Calradia will at first consider you a threat, for if any upstart warlord can grab a throne, then their own legitimacy is called into question. You may find it desirable at this time to pledge yourself to an existing kingdom. If you want to continue as a sovereign monarch, then your first priority should be establish an independent right to rule. You can establish your right to rule through several means: marrying into a highborn family, recruiting new lords, governing your lands, treating other kings, or dispatching your companions on missions. At any rate, the first step should be to appoint your chief minister from among your companions to handle affairs of the state. Different companions have different capabilities. You may appoint new ministers from time to time. Change the location of your court by speaking to the minister. Appoint prominent citizens from the area. Alright. Wow. That was, like I said, Durim I knew had very few troops. And it was an easy take. Very good. Alright. Let's see. What should we call the kingdom? What shall we call the kingdom? Well, it has to be done. Oh, and it's a craftsman thriving business. Ah, nice. All right. So let's go to the marketplace. Start at the goods merchant. Where was that one thing? Yeah, padded tunic. 122. Sell value was what? 610? This shit was worthless. This shit's worthless. The fact that I've got a pile of it kind of makes up for that. It means I have enough to buy food for my men, which is a definite improvement over not having food to buy, having money to buy food for my men. But speaking of food, let's acquire us some bread and grain. The party is going to be low as all hell on morale for a while, but we'll be okay. Manage the garrison. Sharpshooters give. Huskarl give. Everyone's promoted after that. Luckily, I now have a pile of money because I plundered the city. Plundered the coffers and all that. Nord veterans, good. Trained footmen, good. Sure, become skirmisher. Archers are always good. Nord veteran archers give all of that. I need to provide at least a half decent, like that's all the super elite core of units that survived. You can now shape the domestic policy of your kingdom. Do you want to change policy now? Yes, I do actually. Here we go. Selecting your domestic policy is basically, if anyone's ever played Europa Universalis 3, there's the sliders. Very centralized, very aristocratic. High serfdom reduces tax inefficiency for the king and his vassals, and the vassals can maintain bigger armies, but troops lose morale. Almost all serfs. Troop quality. A very high quality. Higher quality men is better. Basically, you could, like, the only one I'm ever really, it's always hard to say, is almost all free or almost all serfs. It's kind of hard to say. But we'll keep it to serfs. Decentralized is actually kind of good. Highest relation between the king and his vassals, who will be able to raise bigger armies but will decrease trade. That's aristocracy versus plutocracy. High centralization, yeah. Maybe keeping it in the middle might be the best course of action here, because it hurts my relations with my vassals. For the moment, very centralized, though. Okay, so let's visit the tavern first. I'm looking... Ymira, you'll do? Sure. I don't really care about your backstory. She's like some merchant daughter who ran away when she was forced to marry someone. Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is go to the castle and appoint her to be my minister. I don't want to give up anyone who's useful. At this point, the no particular legend. I wish for you to retire as minister. Ymira. There. And now we will return to the castle. Now Ymira is the minister. Perfect. Lady Thera. Man of honor will return. Of course. Of course. They are ladies of whom were in this castle when I captured it. As such, I am going to allow them to return home. Without issue. So. Alright. Yeah, it seems you're right to rules. Independent monarch is not recognized. Yeah, I know. Alright. Wish to hire a new staff member. Appoint a constable. So be it. Where is it? We need to hire a new staff member. Chamberlain. So be it. Hire a new staff member. Appoint a chancellor. So be it. I have to appoint my council. Only the minister will be from my party. Everyone else will just be, people. Chamberlain, Constable, and Chancellor. Alright, let's talk, let's see. So the Chancellor, I can talk about domestic policy. I can ask her information about lords, send messages, send gifts, and check my household possessions. That's usually what the wife's for, though. The Constable. Information about settlement, release prisoners, reports, recruits, and training. Can you train some recruits, please? Durham. Ranged. Hire additional trainers. Alright. Thank you. Chamberlain. Here's where I can adjust tax rates. Change the tax rate for everywhere. Duh. I'll figure that out later. Let us inspect the treasury. I'd like to pay into the treasury 5,000. Inspect the treasury. Alright, so once I leave, then, that should be good. Constable as well. It's controls and troop movement. Yeah, okay. Thank you, I'll come back to you later. I know there's a way to, like, raise an army or something, but we'll figure that out later. Let's see, that is all for now, I don't care. Chancellor, domestic policy. I want to select the kingdom's culture. Basically here, your kingdom has no specified culture. Do you want to change it? I can change to any specific culture that I want. That means all of my lords and, them will all raise troops of this type. If I chose Nord, they'd raise Nord's troops. If I chose Kurgat, they'd raise a bunch of horse archers. Freaking jerks. Alright, so those are basically the options I've got here. And man, this was a bit of an episode. I think I might have to go into government in more detail later, but for the moment... Oh yeah, there's also this chest blocked by everybody. I can store items in here. It's kind of nice. However, my next mission is to head back to Sargoth. The feast should still be underway if I'm lucky. And I'll be able to catch my... No, yeah, my lady has a quest for me to go visit her. So thus she can elope and join me. Man, the shit I'm doing for a goddamn woman. I mean, seriously, look at this shit. Look what I've done. Oh, yeah. I wish to grant one of my vassals a fief. Berglin. Never mind. Do I own all the fiefs directly right now? Or is it... Well, let's go to reports. Traveling notes. Factions. Do I own everything? The Palmyran Empire. Ruled by me. Yeah, I am the lord of everything. That's great. Oof. When it comes for tax time, it's gonna be good. Tax time will be good. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villages and the town. The town has a garrison of 26. That's not good. I'm not entirely certain. I should end this episode here, though. I know there's a way to have this guy go around and recruit guys. Some more the wars. Betting bad too early saves winning. Losing. The wars bring on our fields. The law for the sake of honor. Alright. Although it tells me what I feel, it's not necessarily true. Let's talk about patrols and troop movement. Recruits and training. I want to recruit new soldiers. Here we go. What type of troops do we want? The answer will be Rodok. For each recruit. You notice that's 20 dinar for each recruit and 10 dinar for the recruiter. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, 50 Rodok peasants. That's fine. It's double cost, but I don't have to do it, so the troops will simply be raised as needed. Now, since I have the trainers working here, what I'm going to do is just drop everything into the, into here. They, will get trained up into ranged troops, for the most part. And then we have just our Heteroi with us, and Ferentus. I need to get him equipment. Go to the marketplace. Can I at least get him like a horse or something, even if it's a cheap-ass horse? Yeah, cheap horse for him. That's good. Alright. Ugh. And this is where I'm going to end the episode. We've just declared independence, and our capital is now Durim. I always make my capital Durim anyway, because it is the very center of the map. Where else do you rule from, if not the very center of Coloradia? The Palmyran Empire flag has risen, and it will rise. Maybe not now, but I think for now, my prime directive is survival, and trying to hold Durim for as long as I can. I need to make peace. Alien. What we need to do is talk. Should I ask you something? Do you suppose I aspire to be king of this land? Would you support my cause? I would, sir, and others would too. You can show the noble lords that you uphold their ancient rights. Right now, could be a mess. Yeah. Basically, he's telling me what he'll go around and tell everybody. Like yours, face the king and the lords and everyone else. That seems sensible enough. It's perfectly sensible, sir. He's basically talking about instituting proper, feudalism and giving the lords true power over everyone rather than basically aristocracy and serfdom. Two things I've already established in my kingdom. Very good, you do that. So he's going to leave the party for several weeks, which is just fine. I don't need him right now. I'd like to ask you something. I haven't considered a hierarchy in the world. Normally I would have no truck with usurpation, but I also think the king of the land are weak and sorry lot and not worthy of the name of the king, and that leaves the crown free to be taken by a better man, such as yourself. I would command him, however, but he's just been sent off alien on us. Sometimes we wait a couple weeks to avoid drawing too much attention to ourselves. Yeah. Basically, he'll come back in a little while. I think I have to wait a couple days before I can send off another one, but basically he'll be back in I think it's a week or two, and I will gain right to rule. Character report. Right to rule is currently only 3. Right to rule is basically, for anyone who's played Europa Universalis, it's a legitimacy number. It goes anywhere between 0 and 99. So basically, the equivalent of having a right to rule 3 is like your king having a legitimacy of 3. In short, it's a very poor scenario. You do not want this. So I need to do whatever I can in order to, get right to rule and legitimize myself as a possible monarch. I do have 340 renown, though. That's pretty good. But I will marry her. So off to Sargoth we go. But that will be for another episode. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. As always, this has been your host, Galvin, signing off.